Okay, everybody. I know everybody knows how that symbol works on that, but I thought I want to give a video about how does the symbol, laundry symbol works, like symbols. But yeah, if you guys are the beginner of the laundry, since you know the last video about the how to do laundry for beginners using a washer and dryer set, even probably the twin tub as well. But yeah. These are the symbols of how laundry works that I'm using as my laptop right here. Of course, those symbols that you're looking at is for all other garments that you're looking at. Everywhere around the symbol that you're looking at. But I think the kids were like, what the hell is this? That looks like something else, yada yada. It's just the icons. It's an icon. Well, of course, it's just the icon of symbols, but of course, not only the symbol, not only the icons, but those are all of the guides. The ultimate guide to do laundry symbols, as you can see right here. So those are for all the garments that you're looking at. But alright, so I have my underwear right here. As you can see, if you have that, then you'll get is the instruction right here that you're looking at. As you see, I'll show you that for just a moment. Of course, when you see the bottom of what instruction it is, of course, but yeah. Anyways, so starting off with the machine wash right here, which is right here above. So machine wash. So if you want your garments to be washed, which is if it is machine washable, that should be in washing machine. And even you can do that to the twin tub if you have the portable washing machine, which is it's right down here. Of course, obviously. But if it is machine washable, then it should be thrown right in the washing machine, which is any cycles. But normal, yada yada. If you have everyday clothes, if they needed to be washed like every day, then they should be used on normal cycle. Or you can also use a heavy duty in case heavy stuff, whites and but yeah. So next symbol right here, machine wash with permanent press, but that should be like it is like a gentle wash or gentle spin, but it can be like using high or low speed agitating whenever the wash you're using. So you realize in YouTube shorts of how where's the permanent press, it can work with wrinkle control or casual cycle. And machine wash delicate. If you have delicate item, then you should put on delicate, or if you can't find delicates, then they have is the gentle cycle. Or anyhow, if you have a hand wash cycle, then that should give you a slowest wash. And hand wash, I mean, I never experienced to hand wash one of those garments before. Of course, all I did is just in the washing machine. But for me, my opinion about hand wash, but I feel like I wanted to wash it right into the twin tub, which is, of course, that twin tub in case if I have stains or all over that thing, I have to put it in here about, like, light wash or into the normal or light soil on the twin tub right here. So that way I wanted to quick wash and even do anything, yada yada. You can do that on your small machines if you have this type of this model, or the smallest washing machine you'll have. But yeah, that's my opinion about that. It's like in history, just before the washing machine invented. It's like you're having a bucket, and then you have to grab the garment and then like scrub that with the thing that you're holding on to, and then scrub it. So that way the bacteria or dirty garments or dirty things off the garments. So that way it should be clean anyway. And next, if they say do not wash or do no wash, it should not be machine washable, which is you can't machine wash it, or if you want to find new ways to wash anything. I mean, I never experienced one of those garments that they say do not wash. I guess if it is not washable, then they shouldn't be washed, or they should not be wet or anything. And another thing about not machine washable, as I forgot to mention it here, if they say spot clean only, then you should use the spot clean machine. It's like a similar to vacuum cleaner, like a portable vacuum cleaner. Spot cleaning only is for when you use, like, it's like you're trying to vacuum that one clean, but probably uses like, it's like washing, like hand washing with the spot clean with a vacuum around it. But yeah, if they say spot clean only, then you would recommend you use the spot cleaning machine, so that way it should be clean. And you realized this pillow in the last video, so all right, let's move on. Next is your bleach icon. So you got your triangle shape right here, which is, you'll pay very close attention about how does it work. So if you have like whites or anything, then they should be thrown in here with the white cycle. If you want it completely white, like fully white, if it is bleachable, then you should have the bottle of bleach, and then you should put it into the bleach dispenser. If you have a top loading machine, then you'll see wherever corner you have to put in, whether it's at the left or the right position of the bleach dispenser. It is exactly like when I'm watching. I mean, when I have the Cabrio machine, you'll have the left on top, which is you'll see there's a bleach dispenser, or every dispensers you'll look around. If you guys owned a Whirlpool Cabrio older model, or Maytag Bravos, or Kenmore Oasis, but anyways, if it is bleachable, then it should be bleached using a bottle of Clorox bleach or chlorine bleach, whatever. Then yeah. So if they say do not bleach, do not bleach your garments, and same thing to non-chlorine bleach. If they say non-chlorine bleach, then do not add bleach around the clothing, and so is your everyday use clothes, and even the delicate, and same thing, yada yada. Only the whites can have bleach in case, or if your garments needed to be bleached, then good for you. It's just like when I'm in animal shelter, all those dogs blanket and all that pet's hair around it, washing machine, they use a bleach to make sure it's deep clean. Like chlorine bleach is like, of course the chlorine pool, like indoor pool, smells like chlorine around it. But again, about the pets beds, since you know last video of the GE washer, they use bleach around pet stuff, around the anything. So do not bleach and non-chlorine bleach are the same thing. So next off, you got your like wash temperatures. So water temperature, if they say they need cold water, let me turn that washer on right here. So around 30 degrees Celsius, or the what's that? Yeah, Fahrenheit, or anything but Fahrenheit. I think it's like using a 37-degree Fahrenheit water for using as the cold wash, anything. So 30 degrees Celsius is for like cold water, or 30-degree Fahrenheit might do the same thing. 40 degrees, about you adjust the temperature to cool. 50, probably the same thing if they wanted to add a little more hot water in it. 60 for the warm water, using both hot and cold water equals the warm water. So that way your garments can wash with warm water in it. 70, it would be same thing, but even though I feel like 95 or any high temperature you're using is the hot water, which is using real hot water without the cold water added. But some children was like, hey, I don't want hot water. They will shrink anything. Well, if the children watches this, hot water is only when you have bacteria around your garments, then they should be use the hot water to get all the stains out of it. Or in case if you have washing machine that does pre-wash before the main wash cycle, then that should pre-wash your stuff before the main wash started. And this reminds me, if you guys have Maytag with the extra power in it, then you'll have extra power that can do pre-wash and then do main wash. Which is, if you have Maytag, then you'll get is detergent for extra power for anything. But hot water, of course, 70 or 95 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit. Actually, 95 degrees Fahrenheit probably uses as, well, no, not Fahrenheit. 95 degrees Celsius it's like using a 120 degree Fahrenheit or 160 degree Fahrenheit water. If you guys are using a sanitized wash, it's like the same thing you're using your dishwasher. If you want to do sanitized, then that should do the sanitized rinse. But on the washing machine with the sanitized cycle, with the oxy, or it depends what you want to use for sanitize, it uses 160 degree Fahrenheit water to get it very hot, like hot wash, which is you get the difference about washers and dishwashers with sanitized feature. If it has sanitized on the washer, then they should do the very hot wash. And on the dishwasher, uses the sanitized rinse before the end of a cycle. But yeah, if they say 95 degrees Celsius, then they should like use it as the very hot water. But around 70 degrees Celsius, aka probably the hottest water. I mean, 40 degrees is like used for 120 degree Fahrenheit water, like 49 degrees Celsius. Yeah, whenever you're using those machines that you're using. Anyways, about that, do not wring. What they mean about the wring is the garment should not be spin dried, which is you have to after the washing machine and does after the wash and rinse cycle, then if they say do not wring or spin, then you should turn the spin off, which is it won't spin your clothes dry, anything. It's like your clothes won't come out drier. But if they say do not wring, and if you have a very warm weather out or nice temperature outside, then they should be hang dried outside, which is of course that icon right here. So again, do not wring is like do not spin your clothes dry, or do not, if you have the historic washing machine, then you'll get is the squeeze machine, like squeezing to make sure that the whole garments are damped. Even they should not be damped while they say do not wring, or do not twist over the garments to get all the soaking wet water drained out or dripped or anything. Iron. I never experienced to use the iron before, but the iron you guys you guys are curious about this is what iron looks like. So the iron is like when you have your merch, if you want to get your logo or anything on your shirts and everything, then it's like gluing. It's like gluing on the garment around the logo and stuff. So here you got your temperature adjustment to your iron. But yeah, please be very careful with the iron. So kids, if you're watching this, do not play with irons, because if you touch the iron on the bottom, they can burn you. So if they say do not iron, then the garments should not be ironed, which is you have to avoid using the iron. And those temperatures, those are the adjusters right here. So make sure to unplug it if you're not using the iron, or it depends what you want to use for your stuff. So yeah, here's your knob adjuster instruction about where you're adjusting at. But yeah, if you're not using iron, please make sure to unplug it. So no steam. Not really interested with iron that days, but any solvents, those we already talked about. Just want to look up one of those two, which is, I'll Google that and see. If I look it up, I want to look it up at the end of the video, so that way I want to show you in the middle of it. So the hang dry is only if your garments are not dryable in a dryer, then they should be outside to the line. Or if you have the warm room in here, then you should use a drying rack right here. It's like when you're using your smallest load. If you want it to hang dry, or if your garments are not dryable, then if you have a drying rack right here, then you should put it like this, so that way you'll wait until the garments are completely dry. It's like when your dryer's taking forever to dry. It's not true. But of course, that dryer, as you see, is only, of course, when your garments are dryable. Drip dry, or dry flat, even dry in the shade. Drip dry is only when they say do not wring. Again, they need a drip dry, like hang dry, the same thing. If you don't want to drip inside, then if it is warm weather out here, then you should hang it out. Or if it is not very good out here or rainy and stuff, keep it inside. Or if you wanted to go ahead and drip dry, like hang dry, I recommend you to put the towel right here to make sure they don't flood the floor everywhere. So So that way it should keep dripping and dripping until it'll stop, and then it'll be much drier. But even though it feels kind of wrinkly, like it stays wrinkly, it's like stuck. Well, after that, yeah, I don't know. Dry flat. It's like using a towel. You have to dry it on the floor or on the table. Well, not really on the floor because it might get dirty again. I recommend you using a towel if you want it to dry, or it depends what you want to dry. The corner you want to dry flat, which is on the table or anyhow, like on washers and dryers and stuff, everything. So anyways, dry in the shade, which is they shouldn't be dry, which is they should be, I mean, what they mean about the shade is the shadows, as you can see, which is you're standing in front of the brightness, and then if you are walking right into that corner, as you see the shadow right here, it blocks the sun and blocks the lighting as well, which is that this means this is the shade. Same thing to my boiler, your washer and dryer, everything that you are looking at for right now. Do not dry, which is they should be keep wet or damped, anything, or do not hang dry. Do not tumble dry, which is if they need it air dry, then that should be hang dry, or whenever you want to dry anything. So anyways, wet cleaning or dry. So I guess about wet cleaning, I think about wet cleaning is like you're washing with water, even though if it says wet cleaning, then it probably uses water, or if it has left moisture, anyhow, it don't know if it matters. So tumble dry, if your clothes are like tumble dry, then it should be tossed in the dryer, which is is the dryer right here. If you're using a dryer, this is what happens after you use your washing machine, or if you hand wash. After your clothes got done in the washing machine, then that should be thrown right inside the dryer. So those are the heat settings that you're using. Same thing to the washing machine. So you got your dry temperature adjustment of whether you want temperature that garments you want to dry. As you see, low heat, medium, high, and no heat. What they mean about no heat is that they're asking, how do you dry with no heat in it? They use air fluff, which is you need an air dry, which is air tumble dry. It's just like same thing to your old school, just like when you're using this dryer. Air fluff, anything, of course. If they want medium heat, that's in case they have a little bit of moisture in it. High heat is they come out kind of moisture, but not dripping wet. But low heat is only when your clothes got damped. Spin dry damped. And no heat, it's just like when you're using the item after you're washing that, and then if you're trying to attempt to spin it dry, then it's still like moisture until you toss it in a dryer with the air dry settings. Permanent press, same thing. If you're using permanent press, either wrinkle control or the delicate item, delicates right here. Do not dry clean. I think that should not be tumble dryable. It's probably the same thing to do not tumble dry. So, do not wet clean, do not bleach. Again, it's like the same thing to non-chlorine bleach, as you can see. Short cycle. If you have the short cycle, or if your garments who needed to be short cycle to the washers and dryers, you'll get is the cycle that you wanted to choose is the quick wash. Quick wash to the garments if you're using the lightest load. So another thing about quick wash is for only if you wanted to go on express or rapid wash, then that should be put on to quick wash. Same thing to your dryer. Well, the dryer can adjust the cycle time. If you guys own a Whirlpool machines, then that should let you adjust the time of how long do you want it short. If you're not interested with the longest one, then you don't have to. My opinion about this is to put on time dry for the longest minute you'll see. Reduce moisture. Like moisture, make sure your washing machine, if you want to reduce it, or if it is completely soaking wet, then you'll have to put on drain and spin. If you guys curious about why is there a rinse and spin cycle, if you're watching this, like again, deselect second rinse or 2 rinses, then that should enable drain and spin cycle. Same thing if you have your old school washer, then you'll have to adjust spin cycle and pull the start, so that way it should spin your clothes dry. Low heat. It's like the dryer that you were looking at. This is the actual low heat, as you can see. Oh yeah, if you guys are curious about, if you're thinking about how do you put it on, how do you change the temperature while you're in normal cycle, which is you can't, only when you're using a manual dry. Well, if you're using a newer Maytags or Whirlpool, you can adjust it, but Airfluff is not available to regular or other cycles with sensors. Anything but all the sensors. Air dry is only for manual dry. That's it. And don't do that to your old school dryer as well, because I feel like only when you're using, that temperature, of course, using that temperature is probably only uses as a sensor cycle. Like anything, moisture monitor can do anything. Like, where's the sensor, you may ask? Is right here, that line. No steam finishing. I never experienced to put the steaming around the clothing like that, but I recommend going easy around this garments. It's like, again, using whatever you're using, like hot water. I like the way how hot water uses as the it's like a steam. Even if I'm using the twin tub, it pulls out steam. Well, if you're using a water heater, of course, that should steam up really good. So that's how the laundry symbol works around this symbol that you wanted to learn about. This is for beginners, if they're watching this. But sorry about that, was a long video, but that's the story I had to tell about what you want to work with. But that's how everything works on the laundry symbol for your everyday use garments, which is, where's my underwear? Right here. that bottom, as you see, if they say do not use fabric softener, which is one more thing. If they say do not use fabric softener, you should not use the softener to put it in the softener dispenser, which is you have to avoid putting it in. Probably same thing to Downy as well, or rinse and refresh. Well, if you want to refresh your garments that they say do not use fabric softener, if you want to refresh it, then go ahead and put it in, so that way it should freshen up your clothes, only just in case your clothes got very stinked or odor and things. Anyway, again, about if you're using the original fabric softener, do not put them in a dispenser if they say do not use fabric softener. Okay, I guess that was it for the symbol of how does the symbol work on washers and dryers and stuff, and every laundry for beginners who are watching this. Alright, that's it. I have to put everything back, and that's it for the video. So I hope the beginners got that, so that's it.